So, Cowboy Jim, Fort McMurray, Alberta. Nice day up here in the north. And I this is my 400th video in a tiny bit over um, 10 months. And I wanted to get this out of the way because to I wanted to do something special for the 400th, and I realized I can't. Um, I I just can't. Every time I think a video is going to touch a heart somewhere, invariably I screw it up, and I screw it up with too much heart, too much enthusiasm, too much emotion, too much. I, I, I have a vocabulary on me, children. It's not bad, but I am at a loss for words to try to understand how to convey. It's as with pen and paper. I cannot. Oh, I'm I write longhand, um, almost to the point of it being called perhaps almost calligraphy. But though the words look good, the writing is quite legible. The flair is nothing but Irish. I cannot convey emotion. I have stated that time and time again, and I had always wanted to write a book. My own dad said, "You should write a book," and he said, "No one's going to believe what you write because no one will ever believe the things that happen to you." It's it's not it's not possible that people would believe because when you are looking at something, you're looking at through your own experiential base, and things happen to me that don't happen to normal people. My elder sister, she said, "You've been really hard on your body." And I said, 25, 30 breaks on my right hand, 15, 18 on my left. Um, yeah, I guess in retrospect, I have been a little hard on my body, but it's my body. Uh, I'm the one that's done it to it. Can't blame somebody else. Don't like blaming people, anyways, because you have to spend too much time convincing them that they screwed up and you recognized it, and they don't appreciate that, anyways. So number 400. I think I think I think it can best be summed up in this. Many years ago, I chanced to have the privilege and the honor, in an appropriate manner, of answering someone who asked a silly question, and the answer had to do with why would I choose to believe in a creator? And and I told him. I mean, just simply, I told him, and because he asked, and so I thought, well, what do you have to lose? Well, the answer is nothing, not a blessed thing. I didn't have anything to lose. I didn't have anything to gain either. The guy asked, I answered. Well, it didn't take him but a second or two to turn around and walk out of the room. I actually think it was at Grace Lutheran Church in Calgary in 1983, but I could be wrong. Um, I said to the Lord, I said, I think I screwed that up. And and he said, why? I said, well, I believe, like I heard a still small voice in my mind and head. People say, well, you're talking to yourself. Well, I wouldn't argue that. Except I said to the Lord when I was quite young, I don't want to talk to myself. Geez, I'm young. Plenty of time when I get old. I said, if I could talk to you as though you were real, as though you cared, it actually would be better for me. And so that's what I've done all my life. I've just talked to God like as though He were real. On that occasion, He said, listen, He said, well done, thou good and faithful servant. I said, Father, I said, now listen, I think I screwed this up. He says, I said, I could have done a better job. He said, you listen. Well done, thou good and faithful servant. One of my respected family members said, God would never say anything like that to you this side of eternity. And I thought, well, I'm pretty sure he did. But, okay, I didn't argue. We had no equity in it, no value. I don't argue, I don't argue. And I try not to defend myself, but I screw up. Because this old Irishman, he does not take a back seat much. I never was taught to take a back seat by much at all. But I was taught that if you're wrong, don't try to pretend that you know it. And so when someone condemns me for one thing or another, and hard as this is to believe it happens, I consider what they say, and I ponder, and I do an introspective time alone, which isn't hard when you live alone. My oldest son said, Dad, you don't know it, do you? And I said, I don't know what. He said, you've been alone all your life, even when you're in a crowded room. And I thought, that well may be the truth. Because as a man, I never wanted to experience the horror of having someone dissect what I said, what I did, with as fine a tooth comb as is available out there. I just didn't want. I didn't want to show my heart that much because I didn't want to be condemned for not having enough heart. It's the way I've lived my life. It's not right, but it is the way I've done it. So this being number 400, I have less than a month and 12 days to do another 100, which would be 500 by May 9th. I may or I may not get there. I really don't care. But I set goals for myself, not to compete with someone else, but to compete with myself. I always have done that. I've set goals that were totally unattainable, consistently unattainable, absolutely unattainable. And on rare occasions, I've shocked myself and actually realized, oh, shoot, I really did what I set out to do. But more often than not, I end up coming to the place where I say, well, I didn't quite live up to that. But then I think, by setting standards that are higher than I can attain, I'm not really lining myself up for defeat because I realize, well, you can't make it anyways. But why not try? Why not take a shot at it? That's what I do, and that's the way I am. So I don't know if you are going to find any degree of solace in my sharing of my heart, because I realize that that is the only thing that I have that I can share. Still risk associated with it for me, but possibly some small thing. I don't know what. I don't know if, and I don't know how. But if there were some small degree of solace found by you in what I have tried to do, I then would walk in the knowledge and understanding that having done my best, because that's what I do. I that is what I do. I I do my best, whether it's successful or not. It's the way I was taught. It's the way my mom taught me. My hope and prayer is that in these times that we're living in, that you will find an opportunity to become at peace with your Creator. Not to become like me, not a good choice, but to become the fulfillment of who and what you are. You, not me. I don't try to live up to others' expectations. That's why I'm as rugged as I am. I don't want you to feel compelled to live up to someone else's expectations. I, on the other hand, would that you lived up to the fulfillment of your expectations of yourself. And don't do as I have done and set your goals too high, unless you, as I have been able to do, and that is to handle defeat. I don't like defeat. My goal setting is higher than I know I can reach, and so there is some semblance to, not I told you so, but there's some semblance to saying, well, I did my best. That's all you and I can hope for, is that we've done our best. And we let that rest. So, understand that I have a heart that is prayerful for you to find peace and happiness. And that's why I do what I do. I have painted you the picture, the word picture. That's all I can do of that most beautiful woman sitting on her bum in the corner of a crowded room. And in staring at her, I studied every inflection of expression that I could not see because her head was buried on her arms, which were on her knees, which were drawn up in a fetal position. And then she stood up. And the first time that I saw that woman, I thought I've never seen anyone so magnificent, and I hadn't. But I saw her in my mind wiping tears away. And I thought, she was crying. And I thought, why does a woman cry in a crowded room when she is sitting on the floor? And I thought, she's as lonely by herself as I have been most of my life. That is the price you pay when you're afraid to invest of yourself in someone else, in another. I would hope that you find that place of solace wherein you take upon yourself the confidence that can only come from within you while and wherein you're at peace with yourself. I find great solace in my friendship with God. You will find great solace in one thing or another. And I wish you the very best in it. So I will try to keep the videos in the future shorter. I will try to have them somewhat succinct, palatable, but poignant enough. Enough of this old Irishman's heart that well you may respond. And you make sure that it is your response, not Satan's condemnation. Okay? Don't be down. You fall down, pick yourself up, say, God help me because I screwed up again. That's the way it is. So, thank you. You have honored me beyond any merit that I could ever have earned. You have allowed me the privilege of having time to care and share a little bit of your day, and I thank you. I recognize it as a privilege and an honor. I commit to you and to my father, in honor of my mom, who taught me how to become a man, how to be a man, not a coward, how to work, how to fight, how to ride a horse. I commit to you, in honor of her, to do my best. And I will not walk away from this little laptop without knowing that I laid her all on the line. I said what I needed to say to the best of my ability. God bless you. Please to consider my Lord and Savior Jesus. Please to consider the creator of, I believe, this whole universe. His name is God. But you decide for you. Do not allow yourself to come to the place where you are so convinced you're right you can't hear another's perspective, because you'll miss out on the honor of, through speaking of your perspective, you then will understand that very perspective better. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.